Sorry for no intro, but I'm in the cinema and there's literally loads of people. I'm gonna go see The Hobbit to The Desolation of Smaug. My friend's already inside, I just went to the bathroom and it was empty when I came in here. Now I'm gonna go get a seat again. This is the hugest screen and I'm gonna let you guys know what I think of the movie when I actually come out. So, see you, I'll give you my thoughts and opinions and review when I'm finishing the movie. I am pissed. I am just really annoyed with this movie. I was looking forward to it going in. I went with a couple of friends. We were all really looking forward to seeing it. And boy, was it a big, big letdown. This, I would say, is the worst movie that has anything to do with Lord of the Rings series. And the first Hobbit movie I thought was okay. It wasn't great, and if people hated it, I would totally understand, but I thought it was good. I thought it was just, it was okay, compared to how the other Lord of the Rings movies was. But it had its own identity, and that seemed like, even though you didn't, get far in terms of what the main characters did, it still felt relevant in a way. This one just felt completely irrelevant, and I don't even know why it was even made. It had, I'd say the last 30 to 40 minutes was very, very good. And I love the Smaug the Dragon. That was actually handled very well and played by one of my most favourite actors, Benedict Cumberbatch. So that was all very good. But everything else was terrible. Pointless 3D. The 3D in this was terrible. Why you great directors use 3D is beyond me. I mean, I know it's a whole money grab basically, but it's completely pointless. You just basically spend a lot of hard work making a good movie, and you try doing a lot of great sort of stuff with the colours and the cinematography and the effects, but they're ruined by the 3D. Now, I know you guys will be wondering, well, if you don't like the 3D version, then don't watch it in 3D. Well, here's the reason why I watch it in 3D. My cinema has got a huge screen. When you go up the elevators, there's a hall to your left and a hall to your right. The hall on the left has loads of screens, like I think it's about 6 or 7 screens. Now, then there's a hall to the right, and that only has one screen, and all that space they use to make a large screen. And in terms of how big it is, I'll give you an idea. Think of IMAX. Now, in terms of how close this screen 7 is, which is the screen in my cinema, now in terms of how close that is to IMAX, in terms of both picture size and audio, is 70% close to IMAX. So obviously, and you don't have to pay any extra additional prices, so obviously I would want to go see it in screen 7, but these movie makers have been really abusing 3D, I'm about to say lately, but not lately. They've been doing it for about a good year or two now. They've been abusing it. Movies that don't even need it, they just use post-converted 3D, and I'm just going to say it's rubbish. You don't need it. Not only does it make you pay extra money, but it makes the experience really quite bad, because it's hard to actually see what's going on. That's what happened with me. It's hard to see what's going on. Both me and my friend actually just took off our 3D glasses quite a few times, started rubbing our eyes, and it dries my eyes out. Thing is, I can do good with 3D. I've got a 3DS, glasses-free technology. I still do watch, well, used to watch 3D movies. I thought they looked great. Transformers 3 being my most favourite 3D movie ever made, and that I saw in the cinema. But this just looked terrible. This and Man of Steel I saw in 3D because, it was on screen 7, and every single time a movie comes out, they keep putting it on screen 7 in 3D. And yeah, I obviously have to go in watching it that way because I really want to go and see that big screen. And twice this year, the 3D has been terrible. So it really is pointless, and this movie's even got the worst soundtrack out of all the Hobbit movies and Lord of the Rings. Now, the first three Lord of the Rings got really nice music. I'd say very nice, family-friendly, and they can go very dark and epic. The Hobbit, the first part, Unexpected Journey, can go in sort of like, it's nice family-oriented, and it can go dark, but it's got its own identity. It's like, yes, this isn't exactly the Lord of the Rings, although it's taking a lot from that atmosphere, it's putting its own spin on it, so the music in there was good. This one, when the music opened, I didn't think at all this is nice or anything. I was like, what is this music playing? So really, I didn't like the music or the soundtrack inside here. There wasn't any times I was like, wow, this soundtrack is great at all. So that was terrible, and What it also had was Bilbo. He wasn't really in it much. He was in there, but he's always like the second character or like the third kind of focus character. He's like in there with the group, but he doesn't do much. I didn't really feel like he was spending as much time with his character as I would have liked. And I'd say the last half an hour when he's in the that place with Smaug, I should pronounce it properly. He's then it was like great. It was like this is the scenes I wanted, and the scene between those two was really good. And the necromancer and everything, Benedict Cumberbatch and did great. And the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman are both in Sherlock, it's very funny to see them both in this movie playing completely different roles, particularly Benedict Cumberbatch. And I'm noticing here that the trilogy is moving very, very slowly in this Hobbit movies. I mean, even at the end of this movie, I was like, what on earth have they done? They've done nothing. And there is one line that Bilbo Baggins says, and one of the lines says, "What have we done?" Now, I don't even think that was written in the script. I'm pretty certain Martin Freeman actually heard Peter Jackson say to him that, okay, we're going to basically be splitting the Hobbit movies instead of into two, but into three movies now. Then he was like, what have we done? And I can totally agree with him because seriously, this is actually a terrible idea. And do you know what? Let me show you the length of the books and then give you an idea as to how long the movie should have been. Okay, so here are the books. You can see I've got them all lined up right over here. And let's start off with The Hobbit. Now, The Hobbit has 364 pages, and Peter Jackson is trying to adapt that into 3 movies, and that is really quite ridiculous, really. This is the shortest book out of all of these movies, and these have some pages like 700, 600, and stuff like that. So when you take a look at these, this is a really thick book. Again, this is also quite thick, about over 700 pages in there. Then finally, The Return of the King, which is like the biggest of the 4. Now these, he's done in all just one movie, and he's done it very, very well. How on earth are you going to try adapting this shortest book into 3 movies? Yeah, so you get my point right here. I'm pretty sure I didn't even have to show you this. Everyone knows why adapting this into 3 movies is a very bad idea. But yeah, that's basically the sort of my opinion on it, and I really am not happy with what Peter Jackson has done there. So yeah, this should have really been just one movie, and I think it would have been great if it was just one movie, but the fact that he split it into 3 is just really ridiculous. If they did this with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, to split that into 3 parts, I would have been perfectly happy with that. In fact, even if they split Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince into 3 parts, I'd still be happy with that as well, because really, they need to give those movies a lot more exposition and a lot more sort of coverage, which they do not do. But yeah, that's what Peter Jackson's done. It's barbaric, it's a cash grab, and yeah, let's go back to the regular vlog. So I hope you got a good idea about that. So it really, as I said, it is extremely pointless as to why they decided to make The Hobbit 3 movies. I don't think I even need to actually show you that comparison, because really it's very, very obvious. The first 3 Lord of the Rings movies were great as one movie each. This one, how can you make a shorter book out of the first 3 into a 9-hour movie, more or less? The thing is, Peter Jackson, you have actually pitched the idea of making the first 3 Lord of the Rings all one movie that would be 7 hours long. So I know they're definitely going to give you the freedom you want to do that. You know, make the movies however long you want them to be. So you could have just made this about 4 hours if you wanted to put some extra stuff in. Then you could have given us an extended edition. But it's so obvious that you even wanted to sort of milk more money out of this as well, which normally is just the company that wants to do that. But you, come on, I expect better from you. So it's late now. I can't, since I'm using the rear-facing camera on this iPhone 5S, which is what I'm using to record this vlog. I can't really see if I'm recording properly, so I apologize if I was not in frame throughout the whole video. I'm not sure yet. I need to actually check back on the recording. And yeah, please do let me know what you think of the quality of both the picture and audio quality. And the flash right now is glaring me in the eye. I feel like I'm going blind. But yeah, I went to see the movie. I'd say this is one of the most disappointing movies of this year. This movie and Man of Steel, although I've been more disappointed with this movie. It had some good scenes, but in the end, I just felt more ripped off. I actually said when it was ending, I was like, no, 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 it can't end like that. Because I really felt like my money just went down the drain. Nothing was accomplished. And yeah, I just felt like Peter Jackson was like there, like looking at all the money that he has taken from us, and like just laughing in contempt. He was like, oh boy, that was just not good. So these lights are killing my eyes. I'm sort of having to fight to stare at the lens right now as the flash is right next to it. So thanks guys very much for watching. If you let me know, sound off below. Let me know if you like the movie. Remember, if you like the movie, I hate it. If you like it, I'm not gonna cuss you down or anything. We all have our own opinions entirely. So please do sound off and let me know what you thought of the movie. So thanks very much for watching this vlog. I'll see all you guys in the next one. Take care.